We've seen aerial applicators fly low to the ground, dancing in the sky, fertilizing our fields. These small planes move fast, and the pilots in them make quick decisions. Obstacles in the way make it even harder to fly, and some are virtually invisible. KWQC's James Stratton has the story of sharing the sky.
Garrett Lindell has been spraying crops for 26 years.
A little bit of freedom is mainly the main driving point for me.
Based just north of Aledo, Illinois, he and the 6 spray planes he owns cover a lot of ground.
It's about 150 miles north to south and about 100 miles east to west.
And over the years, the landscape of that area has changed, especially with the increase of wind energy in the Midwest. The maps and GPS systems he uses get updated every 6 months per FAA regulation. One thing that isn't on a map like this, these meteorological towers, or MET towers as they're often called, are put up by wind companies to determine wind speed and other factors before they put up a wind turbine. And as you can see, they're incredibly thin and even more difficult to see, especially from the air.
I've had pilots say that they've came awful close to them and sprayed a field with one in the field and never did see the tower until it's almost too late.
Wind companies don't have to notify pilots they're putting them up.
They can install them, they go up overnight. I mean, it's just all of a sudden there they are.
I've had them sneak up on me, and it's pretty scary when all of a sudden you see one where literally there was not one 2 days before when you flew by there.
Rick Reed is the executive director of the Illinois Agriculture Aviation Association. He is also the liaison between wind companies and the pilots. He says the conversation started in 2008.
As a whole, they kind of blew us off to the start,
and has developed over the years.
Wanting locations was actually one of the first things we did, wanting to ask for, followed closely by, let's mark them.
Reed adds that almost all towers in Illinois are marked in some way. And even when they are marked, they're still hard to see.
I'm flying 130, 40 miles an hour, and I said, from the time I can see that tower, I'm 3 seconds from hitting it. So, if I'm looking for it.
The National Agriculture Aviation Association wants MET towers to be marked, with at least 7 alternating red and white or aviation orange and white bands. Plus, orange balls like these to mark the guy wires near the top, and yellow tubing along the bottom with another orange ball, so that pilots can see how far the guy wires extend. We found 5 towers near the Bishop Hill Wind Farm in Henry County. All were marked in some way. Only one was marked in the recommended way by the NAAA. The other 4 were marked on the top third of the tower. Orange balls were at the top on all 4 of those towers. Only 2 of them had them near the ground. I reached out to Invenergy, the company that owns the Bishop Hill Wind Farm. And after several emails and phone calls, the company has not responded to my request to comment. The FAA declined an on-camera interview on this subject, but did answer email questions, adding that it supports marking the entire tower. In 2011, it called for the voluntary marking of METs, but hasn't adopted it into its advisory circulars, which aren't legally binding, but are a standard for the industry, something that both Reed and Lindell agree needs to happen.
Well, you guys think these things are so damn dangerous. How many people have died? You know, that's where they come from, because we have to put our attention when we're getting people killed. Well, that's a strange way to look at it, but that's kind of the attitude you get. They can't be that dangerous, you're not hitting them. Well, we're talented pilots and we're very good at what we do, and so far we've been lucky.
3 ag aviators have been killed by METs since 2003.
I believe that the feds need to, when I say the feds, I mean the FAA, need to get up on speed on this and find out how difficult it is for us.
And while the conversation between pilots and wind companies to mark the towers is good now, all eyes are on the FAA, who says it'll release more later this year.
We need the companies to understand that it's a minor expense for them to make a major impact on our safety.
Reporting in rural Henry County, James Stratton, KWQC, TV6 News.
The NTSB also supports a nationwide protocol marking meteorological towers and creating a nationwide database. The American Wind Energy Association did not respond to our requests about Met towers. On the Iowa side of the river, the Iowa DOT says they've been working with the Iowa Aerial Agriculture Association, and as far as they know, each tower in Iowa is also marked in some way.